Welcome again to the Mesa City Council meeting for the 1st of May of 2023. All of our, Councilmember Duff is not with us today. She's traveling and is excused. Vice Mayor Heredia is attending this meeting via Zoom. All other council members are present. We will begin the meeting with an invocation led by Pastor Gene Lambert with Red Mountain United Methodist Church via Zoom. Following the invocation, I will lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance. So please stand for the invocation and remain standing for the Pledge of Allegiance.
Well, good evening. It's a privilege to be with you online as you conduct the business essential to the city of Mesa. I am the senior pastor at Red Mountain United Methodist Church. My name is Jennifer Lambert. I am a proud Arizona native, a proud Mesa resident, and a proud mama of a daughter graduating from Red Mountain High School later this month. I invite you to settle in, take a deep breath, and join me in an attitude of prayer. Gracious and loving God, thank you for those who are gathered together to conduct the business essential for the city of Mesa. Thank you for the leaders, the staff members, and the volunteers who come together to make things happen for so many. Thank you for your abundant blessings. Thank you for life itself, for the measure of health we need to fulfill our callings, for sustenance, and for friendship. Thank you for the ability to be involved in useful work and for the honor of bearing appropriate responsibilities. Your boundless and gracious nature love every one of us. In the scriptures, you have said that citizens ought to obey the governing authorities since you have established those very authorities to promote peace and order and justice. Therefore, I pray for our mayor, for the various levels of city officials, and in particular, for this assembled council. I pray that you would grant them wisdom to govern among the conflicting interests and issues of our times, a sense of the welfare and true needs of our people, a keen thirst for justice and rightness, confidence in what is good and fitting, the ability to work together in harmony even when there is honest disagreement, personal peace in their lives, and joy in their task. I pray for the agenda set before them today. May their work please you and benefit those who live and work in and around our beloved city. May this group know your peace and work in unity. May they experience your grace. May they be blessed beyond measure. In these seconds of silence, we breathe in your spirit. Amen.
Amen. Thank you, Pastor Lambert. Please join me in the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. First item on our agenda are awards and recognitions. We'll begin with the Arizona Forward Environmental Excellence Awards program. It is a benchmark for economic and environmental accomplishments. Across Arizona, leaders and teams are taking their vision for a better Arizona and turning it into action. This year, the city of Mesa won the 2023 Award for Distinction for Historic Preservation and Adaptive Reuse for the studios at Mesa City Center. Here to tell us more is Downtown Transformation Manager Jeff McVeigh. Congratulations, Mr. McVeigh.
Good evening, Mayor, Council. Jeff McVeigh, Manager of Downtown Transformation. Quickly, just to give you a little overview, a few of you on Council probably remember the studios at Mesa City Center as the city's first public library. I think it was built originally in 1959. It's gone through quite a few different iterations since it was retired as a library. It then became, I think, maybe just a data storage center for our IT building. And then once all of our data went up onto the cloud, it became just an empty, vacant building that needed some new life. I'd like to take credit for this, but we had a great design team in Gensler, a great contracting team in Oakland Construction, and really a great engineering project management team that really saw the project through. Currently, it is home to ASU's J. Orden Edson Institute for Entrepreneurship and Innovation. They currently program the space, but we are also in the final design stages and currently out to bid for the second phase of construction for the second floor and basement, which will be home to our Small Business Resource Center run by the Economic Development Office.
Well, thank you again. I take a lot of pride in this building. I am one of the old timers that remembers when this was a much beloved city library. And so it's so fun to see this return to active use. It's a beautiful mid-century architecture building with some amazing architectural features. So I'm not at all surprised that it won an award. So congratulations, Mr. Brady, to everybody on your team who did such a great job bringing this wonderful building back to life. Council, please join me at the podium and we'll take a picture with Mr. McVeigh to commemorate this.
Short in the picture next to you again.
Are we in balance? Maybe we need one more person over here. There we go.
I know, come in the middle, come in the middle.
Mr. Brady, you want to direct traffic?
All right, we'll go with this.
There we go. Oh, now we're.
You gotta put two on each side.
Gonna get really long.
All right, thank you. That's a beautiful award. We're not quite done celebrating some awards. Next, the Arizona Association for Economic Development honors significant contributions to the advancement of economic development by recognizing exceptional organizations and people in that industry. This year, the City of Mesa Office of Economic Development was presented the 2023 Large Organization of the Year Award and the 2023 William Lampkin Award for Long-Term Excellence in Economic Development Award was presented to our Director of Economic Development, Mr. Bill Jebginiak. Here to tell us more about the awards is the man himself, Economic Development Director Bill Jebginiak. Bill, congratulations.
Thank you, Mayor. Thank you, members of council. We brought those along for show and tell, but thank you to all of you for your vision, your support, and working with the staff to get all this accomplished. Because there's really three things that make both of these awards possible, and that starts with your support and your vision. The second thing is support from management. Economic development is very much a team sport. Chris has assembled a team of professionals across the entire city. You know, we get out and sell it, but then, you know, if I can't get something through a planning process, where's Nana when I need it, or Mary, or working with water and others, that's important. And to have Chris's support for, what did we say the other night, Chris? 17 plus years you've been doing this in the city of Mesa. And in city manager years, that's a long time. But having that support and working together, you can see the results starting to prove itself. And the third part of the leg is one of the more important ones, and that's to have a very deep, talented, and high-performing staff. And we've been able to have that for multiple years. And seeing them perform at a high level, and I mentioned it's even on an international basis, and to have 2 young professionals of the year, economic development young professionals of the year back to back is a major accomplishment. Several years ago, we finished runner-up to organization of the year on an international scale. That's been huge. So these awards are just representative of the hard work that the whole team does, and we appreciate your support along the way.
Well, thank you, Bill. We're used to you and your office receiving awards, and they're well deserved. Council, let's go take a photo here, and then I'd invite you to stay. We have a request for a photo from a young man at Hughes Elementary School with Flat Stanley. So we'll do that right
nice.
after we.
Yeah, good.
That got a bigger reaction than Bill's award.
I'm going to include my staff if that's all right with you, Mayor.
All right, yes, please. Thank you.
Since it's a large
Mayor?
You stand right there in the, no, you stand
No,
right
Mayor.
there. That's
Tall
great.
people in the back, shorter people.
Just all fill in. Oh, there we go.
Come on, guy. Come on, guy.
We're gonna have to squish.
We are a little light on this side. You might have to come over here a little bit.
Come on, kid. Mayor, you want to hold these things?
You guys are good. Let's have it. Come on.
Well, wait,
Director and-
switch things.
Deputy Director.
And then can you actually come to this side too? Yeah.
Yep, Elsa, yep. Slide right in there.
Oh, okay.
Oh, how'd Mary Beth get
Bad. Okay, thank you.
Congratulations.
Again.
Thank you.
Congratulations.
To make room on
Great.
for this next photo, okay?
Thank you.
Hey, Julie, before you, we're gonna do one more photo, okay?
Coming down here. I want to be on the front row with Flat Stanley.
So this is celebrating the 50th anniversary of Flat Stanley.
Don't we want the kid in the picture too?
Apparently, he just wants the photo that he can. Got it?
I love Flat
I
Stanley.
know, I remember that.
Yes.
Kids doing that.
Right. It's still a thing.
To your
Our
right.
left.
I know, I already is. Okay.
Let's do like a silly one too.
That wasn't silly? All right.
First and second graders like silly ones.
You're supposed to pass Flat Stanley along.
No, like-
Anybody want to take on that assignment? We'll work on it. All right, thank you. Next item on our agenda is the consent agenda. Mr. Christopher, would you please come forward and read the consent agenda?
Good evening, Mayor and council members. These are the items on the consent agenda. All items listed with an asterisk will be considered as a group by the City Council and will be enacted with one motion. There will be no separate discussion unless a council member or citizen requests, in which event the item will be removed from the consent agenda and considered as a separate item. Item 2, approval of minutes of previous meetings as written. Item 3A, approving reappointment of City Magistrate Stephen Umpleby to his second two-year term beginning July 1st, 2023 and ending June 30th, 2025. Item 4A, act on liquor license application for the Dobson Association for a one-day event May 12th at 2719 South Reyes. Items 4B and 4C, act on liquor license applications for Urban Legend Beer Company, 150 West Main Street. Item 4D, act on liquor license application for Chupacabra Tap Room, 14 North Robeson. Item 4E, act on liquor license application for the Lounge Social House, 1440 South Country Club Drive. Item 4F, act on liquor license application for Bocce Italian Bistro, 8830 East Germain Road. Item 5A, approving contract for Northwest Water Reclamation Plant, Food to Energy Program, Phase 1 Flare to Fuel Project, Construction Manager at Risk, Guaranteed Maximum Price number 2. Item 5B, approving a renewal of the term contract for the Open Data Platform Solution for the Department of Innovation and Technology. Item 5C, approving 3-year term contract with 2 years renewal options for automotive batteries for the Fleet Services and Utilities Departments. Item 5D, approving 3-year term contract with 2 years renewal options for commercial electrical contractor and electrical testing services for the Parks, Recreation, and Community Facilities Department. Item 5E, approving 3-year term contract with 2 years of renewal options for painting services for the Parks, Recreation, and Community Facilities Department. Item 5F, approving 3-year term contract with 2 years of renewal options for plumbing services for the Parks, Recreation, and Community Facilities Department. Item 5G, approving 3-year term contract with 2 years of renewal options for masonry and metal fencing and gate installation, repair, and supplies for the Parks, Recreation, and Community Facilities Department. Item 6A, approving resolution to submit the City of Mesa Annual Action Plan for fiscal year 2023-2024 to HUD and to enter into agreements to disperse Community Development Block Grant, Emergency Solutions Grant, Home Investment Partnership Program, and human services funds received by the city. Item 6B, approving resolution to enter into a grant award to the Federal Communications Commission Emergency Connectivity Fund to accept funds reimbursing the purchase of home internet routers for Mesa residents that were distributed through the Mesa Public Library and eligible partners. Item 6C, approving resolution to enter into a memorandum of understanding for fiscal years 2023 through 2026 with the Mesa Police Association. Item 7A, introduction of ordinance for zoning case 22-1271 for property located south of Elliott Road and east of Power Road, a rezone and site plan review to allow for commercial development. Item 7B, introduction of ordinance for zoning case 22-1278 for property located north of Germain Road and east of Ellsworth Road, major site plan modification to allow for an industrial park. Item 8A, approving ordinance for zoning case 21-1072 for property located north of Baseline Road and west of Gilbert Road. This is for a rezone of the planned area development overlay and site plan review to allow for a townhouse development. Item 8B, approving ordinance for zoning case 22-1214 for property generally located west of Alma School Road on the north side of Southern Avenue. Major site plan modification to allow for a restaurant with a drive-through. Item 8C, approving ordinance for zoning case 22-1015 for property located east of Power Road and south of Warner Road. Rezone with planned area development overlay, a modification of an existing planned area development and major site plan modification for a commercial development. Items 9A, 9B, and 9C are being continued to the June 19th, 2023 City Council meeting. These items involve an annexation, zoning ordinance, and development agreement pertaining to the proposed development, Legacy Gateway Hotels, located north of Williamsfield Road and west of the State Route 24 Gateway Freeway. Again, these items are for continuance to the June 19th City Council meeting. And item 10A, approving subdivision plat, Air Park 202, for property located east of the Sossaman Road alignment on the south side of Warner Road. Mayor and council members, these are the items on the consent agenda.
There are a lot of important things on our consent agenda, but I would like to highlight one item. Item 3A is we are reappointing one of our city magistrates, and I think Judge Stephen Umpleby, are you present with us, sir? Welcome, congratulations. There is quite an involved process that we go through with our Judicial Advisory Board that evaluates the performance of our city magistrates. We have a very high-performing group of magistrates in the city of Mesa, so it really is we've got some very qualified people, Judge Umpleby being one of them. So, sir, congratulations on being on the agenda for your reappointment, and thank you for your service.
Thank you.
You bet. Do we have any additional requests to speak on an item on the consent agenda?
No, Mayor.
Thank you. I see then we have a motion made by Mr. Freeman, seconded by Mr. Summers. Please vote. Mr. Heredia, how do you vote?
Aye.
Thank you. Thank you. The consent agenda passes unanimously with Councilmember Duff excused and absent. Next item on our agenda is items from citizens present. We do have three requests to speak. So I'll invite you, these three individuals, to come forward at this time, and each of you will have up to 3 minutes to share with us whatever you'd like. First, we'll hear from Bill Voigt. Welcome, Mr. Voigt.
Hello again, everybody. I was here a few weeks ago, and it's in regards to Brother Steve. He's back again. And last time I mentioned about how God only whispers as loud as we can hear. And he's back and talking about personhood. And I think we need to do what he recommends, or it's important to consider it. When you think about, my father was 57 when I was born, and my mother was 40. My sisters were 9 and 10 years older than I was, and I'm around today. I have 4 children. 2 sons have been all over the world in the tech industry, and I have a daughter who's a really good musician, and another daughter who's a farmer over in Bellingham, Washington. And we were told that my daughter, before she was born, was going to be a mongoloid. And we went to the doctor. You know, we got a second opinion, and I remember this doctor's name is Dr. Gabiziak, and my wife was older, and he said, well, you have a 1 in something chance of like that, and it was like totally different from what the other doctor said. And we got this second opinion, and my daughter came out right. So everybody here is here because your parents chose to have you. And the same with everybody back here too. So let's listen to Brother Stephen. And there's good reason he's here. That's what I have to say. Thanks for listening.
Thank you, Mr. Voigt. Next, we'll hear from Stephen Gerard Sidlowski.
Beloved Mesa City Council, Mayor, and citizens, I'm lay brother Stephen Gerard Sidlowski. And by the way, you're hearing from Billy and soon to be Bruce, who are dear friends of mine. We've done petitioning together in the United States. Beloved Mayor and City Council, I think I'm appearing for the second time. I'm here because we've got upcoming Mother's Day and Father's Day. It's a perfect time to visit and to read this new Declaration of Personhood, this new possibility of a resolution for even the city of Mesa. I'd like to comment that some of the language from this resolution has already been approved and passed by another city in New Mexico. I've modified it a little bit so you'll get your wonderful city attorney to make sure that the modifications still withstand the test of constitutionality. Also, on the back, I'm now providing a new personhood strategic action plan. I did complete my MBA at Xavier University in Cincinnati, Ohio, and they taught us the importance of strategizing. And so you're going to learn that it doesn't matter if you're the mayor and city council, it doesn't matter if you're a church or community leader, and it doesn't matter if you're a citizen or a business owner. Everybody has the responsibility to amplify the new possibility of personhood. I'd like to add that, why am I here? Why am I before all of you? Why do I travel to all these states throughout the United States? Well, really, it's the Dobbs decision of the U.S. Supreme Court that's given me more improved traction for this new possibility. So I will make the request that you will agendize the personhood resolution somewhere between Mother's Day and Father's Day. I would welcome to be invited back to answer any questions on the council's part, and I'm sure the citizens themselves will have some particular questions. This is just the first step for personhood, however. I've just come from Prescott, Arizona, and I've learned that, beloved mayor, you can establish a charter review commission. And that charter review commission actually becomes vital for the future declaration of personhood language as a preamble in your city charter. That would be step 2, okay? Since I taught country western dance, it's a step 1, step 2, two-step approach, okay? And I will just close with a simple song. Let the beating heart, let the beating heart show you there is life in the womb. Thank you. I look forward to the agenda of personhood. Thank you. God bless you.
Thank you, Mr. Sidlowski. Next, Bruce R. Gorshey.
Beloved Mayor, esteemed council, my name is Bruce Gorshey. I live on Lindsay. I'm a Mesa resident. I'm here on behalf of my feelings. I'm going to do a little bit of time travel here. Back in the 1800s in California, during the gold rush era, there were bandits, Black Bart, Three Fingers Jack, whose hand is actually in the Smithsonian, by the way. And during that time frame, they were doing robberies all over the state, just like they were doing in Wyoming with the hole-in-the-wall gang, Butch Cassidy and the Sundance Kid, go on and on. But in regard to California, during that time frame, there was a rumor that Big Red was coming to town up in Sonora. And word spread that this villain was going to demolish and destroy, rape, pillage what was going on in Sonora. Rumors spread, got worse and worse until finally one day, the town basically evacuated, and only the bravest of the brave were left in the little saloon at the edge of town in Sonora. Well, early one morning, there was a rumbling at the edge of town. The brush spread, the trees were knocked over, and down through the middle of town was a bull with this gigantic behemoth of a man with red flowing hair riding down the center of town. Everyone knew that this was Big Red, and they were all terrified. So they huddled in the bar, and he rode up to the bar, wrapped up his bull, walked into the bar, went up to the barkeep and said, "Barkeep, give me a whiskey," and make it a dirty glass. So he gave him a whiskey, slammed it down, said, "Give me another one and make it fast. I hear Big Red is coming to town." And the reason I give that story, it's perception. Sometimes perception is all there is. We live and die with perceptions. Very powerful. So I'm here to talk about personhood and about perceptions. You have social media, you have the press, you have everyone has opinions, but when it comes down to facts about the unborn, the facts are very clear when the fetus can feel pain. And what I'm trying to do here is I have one question. Will you please put personhood on the docket? And what I'm also going to say is there are two modes of thought in regard to personhood. You have the Lacanian theory in that personhood represents time after a baby is born and can actually function. So you get into infanticide in some of those cases. The other side is the Aristotelian view from Aristotle, who basically says it is at conception or the potential of life. So from that perspective, an embryo or a living being in the womb has the potential of life. We need to protect life. I ask that you go with your heart and please put it on the docket. Thank you very much for listening.
Thank you, Mr. Gorshi.
You're welcome.
That concludes everything that's on our agenda for this meeting. Council, is there a motion to adjourn? Thank you, Mr. Summers. All in favor, please say aye. Aye. Thank you. We are adjourned.